Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I am putting my beehives out in the yard. The bees are coming in about a week and a half, so we'll be able to pick them up then. But I wanted to spend some time and get the beehives out in the yard in an area where I want them, get my apiary set up, because once we put the bees in and they know where the beehive is, we can't move it after that. Well, you can, but it's not very easy. So I wanted to make it easy on myself so I can put them in one spot and not have to worry about moving them again. So right now we just pulled some pallets out. We are getting some bases for it, but I wanted to get started. So at least they're up off the ground for ventilation purposes. My neighbor's cutting a tree down next door, so you're gonna hear some chainsaws. So the biggest thing is facing the entrance of your beehive in the correct direction. So you want the entrance to face about southeast. So that way they get the touch of the morning sun, and then they know that it's time to wake up and they can get out and start their day. So this is what I'm doing now. And I've talked about this before, about here's an apple tree, here's an apple tree, and here's an apple tree. I have the two cedars and the crabapple tree behind, so time is it? It's 1 o'clock exactly in the afternoon. So this is why I really wanted to do this and get things set up, because I don't want them you don't want them always in the sun, and you don't want them always in the shade. So the bees predominantly do most of their work, in the morning once the sun comes up, and then about 2 to 3 in the afternoon, they start heading home. It starts to get really hot that time of day, so they don't like to be out and about when it's super, super hot. So my thought was, I'm going to use the resources that I have and have these trees in the back start to shade the beehives, between 2 and 3, if I can help it. That would be ideal. So I'm going to track it right now. It's 1 o'clock now, and this is called sun mapping. These are evergreen, cedars are evergreen trees, so it's not like a deciduous like all these maples and oaks. They're gonna put their leaves back on here soon, and then it's gonna be so much more shadier over this way. So I know pretty much that the shade line is going to follow suit almost correctly. So I'll move these according to the sun. So another thing is, I got my compass out on my phone, and I'm going to try to find, I got it all set up here, a perfect southeast. You probably can't see it because it's really sunny. No, you can't see it. Anyway, so this direction is perfectly due east, and this is perfectly due south. So my yard is a big rectangle, but it's definitely not like this. Is perfectly perpendicular, and it's not exactly south. We're a little bit west of south. So I'm gonna move these a little bit. Let's see if I can just put you down and maybe just move it a little. My little tiny stand here. Let's see. Sorry, you're a little short. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So it's just about right on southeast in this direction. So I'm going to mimic this one here and get it at least in the right direction, facing the right direction, I guess I should say. And then I'm just going to come back out at 2 o'clock and at 3 o'clock, and then if I have to move them accordingly, then I will. So I will go over a couple of things here, if I can do it with one hand. Let's move this. So I have everything set up. Here's the top cover. we are going to put a strap on this because it does get very, very windy. Now, the sections are, this is the bottom plate. This is the entrance reducer. I can change this and flip it over if I want to make the entrance smaller. So I'm going to leave it on the big one because we're springtime, so I want them to be able to get in and out accordingly. This is a 10 frame deep brooder. So that means that the queen is going to be in here laying eggs in this deep brooder. This is the second deep brooder. You have 2 of them on here. And this one's empty right now because when I get the bees, I am going to have to feed them. So we'll feed them sugar water till things really start, you know, flowering and growing, and so they have something to eat around here. So this is one of the spacers. We bought our bees from Better Bee in Greenwich, New York. So I got a 1 gallon pail that we'll fill with sugar water. It has netting in the top, so we'll put it over this entrance. So, and that way it kind of just drips. The bees can come up here and feed off of the sugar water, but they won't drown. So we're gonna try this first and see how it works. I closed off this entrance because I don't want the bees to be in here because there's gonna be nothing for them to do and they won't be able to get down inside. So we'll keep this hole plugged for now till we get the top deep brooder on. So these are the frames. I left all 10 frames in here. So we ordered a 10 frame nuke, which means it's going to come with a colony of bees already established with a queen. They've already drawn comb out. There's probably already honey and everything in there with eggs and brood. Brood means larvae that's growing inside the honey cells. So the frames, these are called frames, they are 2 colors, black and white. So the bottom frames, the frames in the deep brooder are black because once they draw comb off of these and the queen lays eggs, you can see the eggs inside the cell because the background is black and the eggs are white. Huh, isn't that crazy? So I'm gonna, when the nuke comes, we're gonna put the box right next to the hive and leave it for a couple hours. Let them get a chance to acquaint themselves with the area. Then I'll take 5 of the center frames out. We'll put the 5 frames in here and replace it. And put the spacer on, put the other deep brooder frame on top, put the sugar water, cap it off, and that'll be that for now. I'll wait about a week and see how much they've eaten of the sugar water. I don't know how much they're gonna eat and not eat. I mean, some of the trees are starting to bud, so there'll be a lot of tree pollen around here close to this time of year, but we'll get them established, and I'm really excited. So this is really cool. And then we got a regular nuke, an overwintered nuke, and then a box of bees. So it just comes in a box with mesh on it, with like hardwire cloth, really small hardwire cloth, to keep the bees inside. And they have a queen that they don't know. So we'll see which one works the best for us, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna put these back together, get everything straightened out, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so standing here trying to get these straight. I'm freezing my butt off now because yesterday was almost 70. Today has been like 35, windy. Sun feels good though, if the wind would stop. So let's take a peek at the final results here. So the orange one is going to be the first hive, and the blue one will be the second hive. We're going to have another, we're getting another hive, so that's going to go here, but those bees aren't, oh my gosh, those bees aren't coming till the end of May, so I got time, but I at least wanted to get started in the position in the yard and get the hives acclimated to the weather and just put them in the spot where they need to be so I don't have to move them again. But they're definitely in a good area. Of course, I wanted to face them towards the garden, but that's not the way you do it, so whatever. I wanted them far enough away from the house and stuff that they wouldn't bother us, we won't bother them. And we will see if I can get to my watch here. What time is it? Oh, I don't know. It's only 1:15, so I'll come out here at 2. Actually, it's looking pretty good that it might be a good position. And I'll just watch the shadows come across. And we'll see what happens. Super exciting. This is the shadow at 2 o'clock. And here's 3 o'clock. So I think they're in a pretty good position. It's just starting to be in the shade. I don't want to move them too much farther back. I just kind of want to be in the middle. But I think so far this is a good start. I will definitely keep an eye on these for the next couple days and see if it's a good spot, and then I'm gonna leave them. Can't wait to get my bees. So from my coop to yours, thank you for growing with me so I can grow with you.